Oh, hello, 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 my friends. Scotty J Here, back again with another episode of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, and 9 Doors. And not just another, the final episode. That's right, we'll see if we finish her off today. Now, last time, we escaped the library and the study, however, not before finding a photo of the original 4 nonary game creators. This photo seemed to trigger a memory within Seven, which told him about how he rescued the kids last time from the original one. However, someone did die. A girl named Akane Kurashiki. Ooh. Which, if Akane Kurashiki is dead, that leads to the question of who the hell is a June? Anyway, we're off to the Incinerator now to find out. Let's begin, shall we? Alright. Then suddenly, there before them, were the 4 whom they'd parted with earlier. Ace and Lotus stood in front of the number 9 door. Santa was curled into a ball against the wall of the incinerator, holding his stomach. And then there was June. She sat slumped against the wall, exhausted. What had happened? Junpei ran to June. He skidded to a stop in front of her and knelt down. What's wrong? Are you okay? Her face was pale and her lips dry. When she spoke, he could barely hear her. Junpei, you came to get me. Of course I did. I made a promise. I'm so glad you're here. So glad. She mumbled the same words over and over, weakly. Junpei could feel his heart breaking. Hey, what happened to you? I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though. Are you sure? Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me. She was looking towards Santa. Junpei turned to look as well. Santa grimaced, his face contorted in pain. Seven grabbed him by the collar and roared at him.
Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere?
Despite himself, a grunt of pain escaped Santa's lips as Seven shook him.
I don't have it. I got sucker punched in. They took the gun. What? Who took it? Well, isn't it obvious? I took the gun.
Ace? He did indeed have the revolver in his hand. It was pressed against Lotus's temple. Ace had pinned her to him with his other arm, and she was shaking visibly. Her fiery attitude was gone, replaced by fear. She didn't dare speak. There was sweat on her forehead, and when her eyes weren't flicking up to the gun pressed against her, they seemed to desperately want to say something.
So what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Maybe I should say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical?
Seven's deep, baritone rumble shook the walls. Ace sneered.
You have me at a disadvantage. I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain?
The pain of prosopagnosia, right? Junpei's voice was casual, or at least it was trying to be.
Another irritating insect. And how do you know that,
Junpei couldn't say. He just knew. Another unexplained mystery.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of my time anyway. It's time for me to go.
Behind Ace, Junpei could see the red. It was placed in a small indentation on the wall. Quickly, Ace placed his hand on the scanner. It beeped, and he forced Lotus's hand onto it as well. Then at last, he reached into the pocket of his jacket and pulled something out and pressed it against the panel. The third asterisk appeared on the red. The thing he'd used for the final verification was the bracelet with the number 9. It had belonged to the first man to die, Kabuta. 1 plus 8 plus 9 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9.
I believe I've won this game.
His smirk made Junpei's blood boil.
I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, something about what he'd spoken. Did Ace not know who Zero was? Junpei's eyes flickered towards Santa. He hadn't moved since they'd entered the room. Santa was still holding his stomach and groaning as if in intense pain. Junpei wasn't sure if it was real pain, but he wasn't sure it wasn't either. What the hell did Santa have up his sleeve this time?
At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait.
Of course, Ace paid no heed to Seven's request and laid hold of the lever on the red. With a sickening sense of finality, he pulled it.
What? Why isn't it opening?
Lotus tried to take advantage of Ace's confusion and managed to twist herself out of his grasp, but at the last second, he grabbed hold of her wrist and shoved it onto the red. He waved the number 9 bracelet over the red, and then his own bracelet as well. He pulled the lever a second time.
No! What is this? Why? The digital root should be 9. It has to be 9. Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Ace's fear and confusion had overridden all other thoughts. He had set down the revolver. It was just below the red. Seven chose that moment to act. He moved far faster than a man of his bulk should be able to, and he launched that bulk straight at Ace.
Gah!
It was over before they knew it. In the blink of an eye, Ace was on the floor. He rolled onto his side, groaning in pain.
Ugh!
Lotus ran, straight for Junpei. She darted around behind him and stuck her head out, making sure to keep Junpei between her and Ace.
Phew. That was close. Too close. Thank you, Seven. Yeah, don't mention it.
Seven stood over Ace, his breathing slow and heavy.
Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit, though. To what he did 9 years ago, I had to rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, then they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat. 9 years ago? Ah, then you must be... Yeah, you finally figured it out? Dumbass.
Ace planted his hands on the floor and shook his head. Junpei walked towards him. He stopped and looked down at Ace with pity on his face. Ace, you killed Kabuto, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused. Oh, right. You don't know yet. Alright, we'll just go through them in order then, shall we? Let's start off with Kabuto. You talked to Kabuto and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figured, you had 4 motives. 1. In the notary game, the number 9 was dangerous. Whoever had the number 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. You could add 9 to any number, and the digital root wouldn't change. 1 plus 9 equals 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1. 2 plus 9 equals 11, 1 plus 1 equals 2. 3 plus 9 equals 12, 1 plus 2 equals 3. And so on. In other words, number 9 could be used wherever they wanted. Ace wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. Reason number 2. Ace also wanted to have the number 9 bracelet to himself, so that he could make use of its power. In fact, he later made use of it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number had been different, Kabuto presented a problem for Ace. Kabuto had known Ace's past. He knew what happened 9 years ago. Before he told anyone, Ace had to silence him. 4. And last, but perhaps most disturbingly, Ace had used Kabuto as a test. He wanted to know how serious this notary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? He convinced Kabuto to break the rules so that he might see what happened. That was why you killed Kabuto, but he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts of the red, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That is why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did...
Oh, I'll get to that. Anyways, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects from 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him.
That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kabuto's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number, and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. And when the door opened, you kicked him in.
9 seconds later, the door closed.
And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead. Then you mean to say that Snake is alive?
Oh, sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Oh, thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you, oh, very much.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
Ace's self-derision was frustrating, but Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued. Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said? Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it? I handed you the pocket watch and you left the room. Ace had been in charge of the nonary project. He would, of course, have known the solution to every puzzle. It followed, then, that he knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All Ace had to do was place the pocket watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, he was able to enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Next to him was an axe that fairly begged Ace to kill Musashido with it. He picked up the axe and swung it, burying the blade deep into the other man's chest. One blow was all it took. Afterwards, Ace returned to the chart room as though nothing had happened.
Oh, there's something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
With no response to, Junpei had followed Ace into the wheelhouse. When they reached the wheelhouse, Ace slipped his hand into Junpei's vest. He pulled out a piece of paper, the piece of paper that Junpei had used to cheat during the vote. But it wasn't the piece of paper that Ace was after. His true purpose had been to slip the pocket watch into Junpei's pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. It had far too many flaws, and the wrong word of discovery could have easily toppled it. What had made Ace so desperate? That was the only thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out.
Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it, but why? Because of this.
Slowly, Ace reached down and pulled something out of his pocket. It was a folded piece of paper. Junpei took it and opened it. This is what it said. Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the nonary game. The second is for you to confess to your sins of 9 years past. I've prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look at the camera and repent. Once you've confessed everything, I'll release you from this ship. To make your own confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please.
0. When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found this in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. Sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You mean you meant to kill him from the beginning, then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he'd only just woken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Ace had confessed everything. What energy he had left with the truth, and he sagged to his knees. Although he had confessed, his sins were not forgiven. Junpei felt revulsion for the pathetic man on the floor near his feet. But in among the revulsion was a hint of pity. After all, Ace had not been the only person who murdered those men. Junpei spoke quietly. Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes. So it would seem. It's a little more than a puppet in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The red and the large hospital rooms were dismantled. Each Saki was dressed like Santa. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Mochichito was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Ijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen for such a simple trap. I'm quite ashamed of myself. But yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted. Yeah. By manipulating Ace, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this notary game happened. Am I right, Santa? Junpei looked over at Santa. As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaking. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any... Ain't no point in trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Owie, huh? Seven's face was sad as he spoke. My memory came back, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. Huh. But hey, guess it's all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the notary game this time was Zero. And Zero's you. Ha! Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Santa's smile was sarcastic, and something else. Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the notary game 9 years ago. I made it out, and so did Snake over there. But there's one thing. No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero. What? Wait, what? Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant. Like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders. Then, if you're not Zero, who is? Oh, calm down there, little Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said... All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this notary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the notary game. Huh? To save someone. Save someone? Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane. What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw. Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went wide as dinner plates, and he spun around towards June. Junpei followed his gaze. She was gone. Where June had been, there was nothing. What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki? Seven began to mumble to himself. A strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. His face was twisted with effort, as though he were struggling with something they couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the side of his head. Ugh! Oh, my head! Oh, my head! It feels like it's gonna pop! He groaned and fell to his knees. Seven! What the hell's going on? I don't know. I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode. From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It sounded like a tremendous wheel slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured. What was the Nonary project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For 2 organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were 2 separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. Building Q had been built to replicate exactly the interior of the Gigantic. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones of the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers to the morphogenetic field set to transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason she was placed on the Gigantic, with receivers like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? Pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what's going?
Oh, don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't. How did you know Ace has prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kabuto and Nijisaki? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's... The answer to that is easy. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphogenetic field. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, with a single stream and two branches. It only flows in one direction, and it can never flow backwards. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backwards. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet, but I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. Where did she go? June? No, Akane. Where did you go? Santa! Why is Clover... Oh, shit!
Freeze!
Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turning the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head.
Get up!
Sure isn't about to take the gun off him for any minute, isn't he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either. But he just looks... Oh, he looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but... What's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? Can't get through any number doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to make a wish come true.
That's it? That's all he's going to give us? What the hell does that even mean? Oh, shit, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be all right. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens. Damn, well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon. You mean we're trapped? So it would seem.
What the hell's Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There's really only one thing Santa would do now. No. No, you can't be serious. Oh, but he is. Oh, shit, we gotta do something. Maybe we can still get out through the number 9? There's the red. Yeah, all right. Oh, we can do this. I've just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Is there any combination that would work? Junpei, can I borrow your pen and paper? Oh, sure, why not? I don't think I'm going to need them. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful, at least. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Huh? Oh, man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, don't need to be ripping out pages like that. Oh, jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that.
All right, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Shit.
There's no other way?
Lotus. Looks like she's figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel. Oh, it's okay. Go. Lotus?
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected to bet about as much as I did.
Without, you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
You know, for a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence. Bad?
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Huh?
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7? He's right, I'm not leaving you either. Me too. You don't honestly expect that I'd abandon you, do you? You're all idiots. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. You can all see you're about to cry. And that being said, however... I doubt we'd be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind. Huh? Why? I trust you remember what happened to Ace. I couldn't exactly see what happened, but I was able to guess he was attempting to do earlier at the Red. Oh, yeah.
No. What is this? Why? Digital root should be 9. It has to be 9. And why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot?
Yes, that is what I said. Two plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. You were right.
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. Digital root was 9 then. I'm sure of it. You think maybe they changed the settings? Perhaps. Shit. If we can't get through that door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at the door with 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him, and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind, 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it became difficult to separate them and determine which movie was which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me. Come on! Over here! That was my brother, Aoi. He was screaming. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they're about my age. Come on! Hurry up! We ran down a long, straight hallway and burst into a large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It's been 2 hours since the notary game began. We were starting to fall apart. Just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we'd call him Snake. Hello, everyone. Yes, could you come over here for a moment? He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and he gathered around him. I have a little sister. She's very important to me. Right now, she's over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday. As he spoke, he pulled something out from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers. I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it's difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hoped that these would show her how much I cared. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we need to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of these things to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know the leaves of the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want each of you to have one of these. They're a promise between friends. He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say. Don't ever forget, so long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand? When he finished, the tension of a few minutes ago was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found the door with a 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with a 9 on them. We found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in the room with the ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, the room had a number 9, but this time there was only 1. But if there's only 1 door, that meant only 5 could escape. What are we going to do? There aren't any other doors? We began to panic. And as if things had gotten bad enough,
Warning! Warning! Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What?
What's happening?
What did that thing say? It doesn't sound good. My brother Owie swallowed hard and answered.
I think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn? The plaque on the door says incinerator, and that voice said the incinerator is about to start, and incineration means to burn. No! Help me! Abject fear filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high on the wall, a door opened, and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us who'd stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. We came out the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite of the door was a set of double doors. We went through those doors and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Owie, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leaped across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That's when I realized. Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present? I knew I'd had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then I had dropped it when I slid out? I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think. I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that had connected to all other areas of the ship, and hid in the shadows. And moments later, I felt the rush of wind as they ran past me, up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically. There it is! It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs in freedom, the door to the incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Kentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Oh, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could. No, I don't want to. Let me go. Please let go of me. I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed, "Help me! Somebody help me!" Then suddenly, Akane! The door to the stairs flew open. My brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake. Akane! He cried my name again as he leapt towards Hongo. You came back! I cried out.
Ha! You're too late, idiot!
Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both in the incinerator. Ah! The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked towards the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me. Behind me I could see my brother, his fists clenched. Those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically. His face registered that there was an object there, but not anything that he would consider a human being. He then turned away and walked to the red and sat next to the door. He reached into his pockets and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing to me at all, and walked past, as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the double door slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran towards the door with the 9. Akane! Akane! Are you okay? I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried and frightened voice. Help me! My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed, lonely around an empty room. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongo? He went out the other door. What? Then it started again. Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Holy shit. Oh man, I knew it was going to be Say. That's one hell of a creepy voice. I knew it. It's starting. Santa started the incinerator. Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again. After 9 years. What the hell? What the hell? What are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. What in God's name are you talking about? You aren't making any sense. I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. I promise, I'll tell you everything once we get out of here. But automatic incineration will take place in 17 minutes. You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means. Well, God damn it. Fine, okay. I won't ask anything else. Let's just talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing. How the hell? There's supposed to be some sort of emergency shut-off button. There isn't anything like that. How the hell do you know? Because I looked for it 9 years ago. Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. I can't really blame her, though. Wait. The floor, it's moving. What else can I say, but... What the hell is that? What else can I say, but... What is that? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least it kind of did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears pouring down my face. I wiped them off. Even more took their place, and I was forcing myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I could see is the screen as a reflection of my own face. Looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home, you know? Okay, Junpei, just calm down, all right? Everything's gonna be okay. God, man. I wish this thing would just shut up. Automatic incineration will take place in 15 minutes. Alright, back to this thing. It's only showing up now. That's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it? Hey, move. Ah! Hey, we're all tense, lady. Doesn't mean you gotta shove people around. Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. This is bad. This is really bad. There's nothing here, then how are we supposed to do anything with it? Oh, sure, just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Huh? Well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen, though? What is this? What the hell? Looks like some sort of puzzle. It's got a bunch of numbers scattered across by a 9x9 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 9. Do you think that if we solve this puzzle, the incinerator will stop? Yeah, well, we can hope, right? Alright, puzzle, how do you work? I'll mind that goddamn voice again. Automatic incineration will take place in 13 minutes. Shit, 13 minutes. Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Jumpy had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice.
Hey, what are you doing?
It was muffled, and I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face, a frightening, evil face. It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me?
Oh, don't know what to do.
He yelled, but his voice was still muffled.
It's simple, really, but I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine.
His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like the claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears. You're a terrible person. I hate you.
Oh my. How could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person? That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I didn't use tricks or play dirty. You see, I even left you a way out.
A way out?
Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that, and you can stop the incinerator.
What's the point of stopping it? You'll only capture me and make me do this all over again. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're just going to throw me back in here, I might as well die now.
Oh, my goodness. Haven't you just listened to anything I've said? I told you I'm a fair man. If you solve the puzzle, the verification function on the red will in turn activate. If the experiments deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. You succeed, you will escape.
Verification function of the red? Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red.
Ah, so you do remember. Right. Now there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1 and the second is 3. Say, Akane, what's your number?
I looked down at my left hand. The face of my bracelet showed a 5. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. I ran to the door with a 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel.
You really aren't one for listening, are you?
I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room.
I already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of fool are you?
Why are you doing this?
You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys. Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle.
I can't. I don't know how.
Of course you don't. Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the field. Find the solution.
I can't.
Then you'll die. You'll burn alive. Oh, it's going to be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it'll be very painful.
His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it. Automatic incineration will take place in 10 minutes. I was crying, great gulping sobs broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the empty monitor. I can't. I just can't. There's no way. I can't figure this out. What was I going to do? I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was going to die. My palms were sweating. My blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot. Oh, so hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself into pieces. I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hands around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Jumpy had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed. Help me, Jumpy. Help me. Help me. Help me. Jumpy! 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 Please, help me. Jumpy! Akane?
Akane?
Who the hell is Akane? Shut up! Oh, just shut the hell up! Seven and Lotus don't understand. I think Clover and Snake might have an idea, though. Clover's looking at me. And I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here? Akane? Akane! Can you hear me? Akane! Say something! Fuck! Oh, did something break our connection? I swear I just heard her. Shit! Akane! Answer me! Akane? Jumpy? I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked down. It wasn't in the room, of course, but I'd heard it so clearly, like he was right there. Jumpy! I screamed as loud as I could. Immediately I heard him call back. Akane! Jumpy! That's her. She's there. Then that means... Akane! Are you in the incinerator right now? Yes, I am. How did you know? Oh, now I understand what Santa meant. Right, there's only one way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister, to save Akane. I think I get it now. Automatic incineration will take place in 7 minutes. Jumpy, we don't have time. As quickly as I could, I told her that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator. Got it. And I do. I get everything now. At last, I finally understood what all this means. I know why the notary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All this was planned out to lead to this one moment. Oh my God. This is insane. I can't believe it. And there's only one possible answer. June is. Zero is. Akane Kurashiki. She recreated the history of the futures that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago. No, she's trying to save herself right now. That means that there's only one thing for me to do. Even if it's all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki. I must save her, no matter what. Automatic incineration will take place in 6 minutes. Jumpy? Yeah, I know. Just hang on, all right? I promise I'll get you out of there. I'm not going to let you die. I promise. So don't worry, all right? Just give me a few minutes, okay? Okay. I My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. I felt like my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him. Alright, time to get to work, Junpei. Snake talking to them about something? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Get out of my way. Hey, what are you? Just trust me, okay? Sorry, Lotus, I didn't mean to snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than your pride. I'll apologize later, alright? Now let's have a look at this thing. We got numbers all over this grid. If I'm looking at this right, I'm going to need to fill all these empty squares with other numbers from 1 to 9. But I can't use the same number in 2 horizontal or vertical rows. Same as by the 3x3 squares. It means I need to put different numbers in the horizontal and vertical rows, as well as the 3x3 squares. I think that's the rule here. Alright. Bring it on. I'm going to do this with my own mind. I'm going to solve this problem. Alright, so I'm going to get started. And, yeah, I'm going to solve this Sudoku and send it over to Akane. It's a fun fact, on the actual DS, as you can see here, you would actually physically flip it over so that you can send the numbers to her screen. I know. It's super neat. Anyway, I'm not going to have you watch me do a Sudoku, so I'm going to take care of this myself, and I'll see y'all in a second. Alright, and then so that leaves me with 5 squares left, so 1, 2, 3, you'd have to be 4 then, right? Right. So 4. Ooh, 1, 2. I need 3 here. 4, 5, 6. So 3 and 7. Well, 7's right there, so you have to be 3. You have to be 7. That leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have to be 9. And you would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. There we go. Send that info on over. Yes! Oh, that's it. Akane, did you get it? Yes, I did. I solved it. I mean, you solved it for me, but I copied everything you did. Now I just have to press enter. Well, then what the hell are you waiting for? Push it. Okay, I will. I hit the enter key. Emergency shutdown command has been acknowledged. Incineration system has been shut down. Jumpy! What's wrong? It worked! It worked! The incinerator shut down! It worked! Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him. But they were very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment and relief flooded my body. At the same time, what strength I had left disappeared and I collapsed to the floor. For a while I just lay there, laughing and crying and enjoying being alive. Every time I thought about him, I thought my heart would burst. Phew! I can't quite believe I did that. But I'm so glad. So glad. I feel like my heart's on fire, though. Oh, no way, I don't have time to be thinking about that kind of shit. I need to tell Akane. Akane! Sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay? Oh, of course, that's fine. I wiped the tears from my eyes and nodded vigorously, even though I knew he couldn't see me. Then I looked over at the corner on the floor. There were 2 bracelets Hongo had left behind. Now, well, 7 and Lotus don't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved your lives, guys. Junpei, are you? Okay. Oh, shut it. Right, okay, so maybe they do have a reason to be pissed off. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? Alright, nothing holding me back now. Here goes. Wait. Automatic incineration will take place in 90 seconds. Huh? It doesn't sound like it's stopping. Oh, what the shit? Why isn't it stopping? Okay, maybe I didn't hit the key hard enough. Just hit it again. And again. And again. Okay, that's not working either. The alarm's still going off. Oh, what the hell is going on? I've got all the right numbers in here, right? It's perfect. So why the fuck isn't it stopping? Automatic incineration will take place in 60 seconds. Wait. Oh, of course. That's what these numbers under the puzzle mean. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Snake, Clover, me, 7, and Lotus. Then, door 9. No, that's not it. That's the number on the door isn't a 9. It's not even a number.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries you.
Holy shit. Of course. We just have to put the right numbers into the red end. Automatic incineration will take place in 30 seconds. Run, guys! Get to the door! Run! Oh, shit. Oh, we don't have much time. Man, I sure hope they just trust me on this one or we're all fucked. All right, no time to explain. Just go. Quick! Verify your numbers on the red. Verify?
Who?
What combination? All of us. We all need to verify. Why? You really think this is a good time to ask questions? Just fucking do it. Hurry. Automatic incineration will take place in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled. Oh, thank fucking Christ. No time to be happy. Time to go. Hurry. Oh, we've only got 9 seconds before the door closes. Go. Come on, guys, move it. Okay, we all made it through. Move, Junpei. Just in time. And there goes the door. No, don't come down yet. You're not done. We still gotta find the dead. Oh. Oh, shit. Looks like we made it, huh? Oh, man, that guy sure can laugh when he wants to. Looks like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. I guess Snake probably can't see the sky, but he can sure feel the fresh air. I just want to take a nap. Akane! Can you hear me? I want to tell her we made it. I want to tell her how good I feel. But, oh, there's nothing now. The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother. Akane! Aoi! I cried his name, even though my voice was almost gone from screaming, and leapt into his arms. Oh, Aoi! Akane! I buried my face in his chest and cried again. I cried and cried and cried. The steady thump of his heart in my ear made me feel like I was home. Its beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they would go and held him, as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I hadn't felt the warmth of another human body in what seemed like an eternity. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever. But I couldn't. The moment I passed through the door, my bracelets had begun to count down to death. I leapt away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me only a moment to get to and scan the bracelets, the ones that Hongo had left by the scanner panel. That was it. Phew. I took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective we'd all call 7 in 9 years, and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to have been utterly stunned by my sudden appearance. Their eyes were wide and their mouths hung open. Alright, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again. I was right. It was time we got moving. The mention of Hongo seemed to jar 7 and Snake out of their surprise, and they nodded. We took off running up the spiral stairs to freedom. Up. Oh man, these stairs can go on forever. But if they can get us out of here, well, no wonder we're running so hard. My heart's beating so fast I can barely hear. God, I can't wait to breathe real air again. Huh? Is 7 talking?
Hey, Junpei, can I ask you something?
What's up?
The door, the one with the 9 on it. Why'd it open?
Yeah. All 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 26. That makes our digital root 8. It shouldn't have opened. Well, that's not like you, Lotus. I thought you'd have figured it out by now. Uh-huh. Why? Because you were the person who taught me about the idea of bases. Bases? Yeah. What are the 2 numbers in base 2? 0 and 1. How about base 10? Well, that goes from 0 to 9, right? And how about base 16? 0 to F. After 9, it goes from A and goes to B, C, D, etc. You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10 in base 10. B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on.
So what about it?
Well, you still don't get it? What if you keep going with that pattern? What if you go way past base 16, all the way to base 27? Base 27? Well, yeah. Well, the numerical digits are the same. So I guess if you add up the alphabetical digits, E is 14, F is 15, G is 16.
H is 17, I is 18, J is 19.
K is 20, L is 21, M is 22.
N would be 23, O is 24, P is 25.
Yeah, and what comes after that? Oh.
Ugh.
Q.
26.
And what does that mean? That it wasn't a 9 on the door?
It was a Q. A fucking lowercase q.
That's pretty much it. I guess to put it another way, you could say it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27. Time for more running. God, my thighs are killing me. I swear any moment now I'm going to tear a muscle. I feel like every single cell in my body is dying for air. Damn, every breath I take is a chore now. I feel like my lungs are going to burst. Maybe just a short rest. No, I can't stop. Don't have time. Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. Let's run. Like a bullet down a rifled barrel. Like a tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. I feel like we're running along the back of a giant coiled dragon. Finally. Huh. Whew. Huh. Phew. Jesus, I can barely breathe. No, Junpei. No time to rest. Pull yourself together. You're almost there. All right. I'm going to open it.
Yeah.
Yes. We're finally here. Oh, please do. Sure, you look like a big, heavy door. But you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom. But even more importantly than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane. You're going to open, and you're going to open now. I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Aoi's. He gave it a small, reassuring squeeze. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace. And only because my brother and I were back together again. Thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who had been kidnapped. We're finally able to escape from the gigantic. On the distant horizon, we could see a faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roar as it finally slipped beneath the waves. Its last cry echoed out across the ocean, and then it was gone. It's over, Aoi whispered. Yeah, it was over. It was finally over. Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. I was sure of it. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This was only a prologue to what would happen in 9 years. Yes, finally, air. Ah, damn, that sun is bright. I can barely see anything. Gotta admit though, it doesn't really look quite like a... Wait. No way. You've gotta be shitting me. What?
It can't be.
This is...
This is the building in the Nevada desert.
The mock experiment building. Oh my god, this whole time we were in building Q? Sure enough. That's a desert out there, with mountains all around it. Hello there, sun. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? Oh, right, our bracelets. Guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of one of these. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electrode chip, like an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing even looks like a detonator. They were never detonators to begin with. Figures. Akane. Jumpy. Guess I must be pretty crazy about this girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. Are you okay? Oh, come on, this is nothing. Really? Yeah. You don't look okay. It was just before the end of elementary school. Jumpy and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill, looking down at the town as the sun slowly set. How does it look then? He was half serious and half joking. I thought about it for a minute first. Well, let's see. It looks like you kissed a toad and got warts, but then they kept growing and growing and growing. What does that even mean? Chippe grinned and ow, 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 ow. See, I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless. You can't beat 5 8th graders, Jumpy. That's crazy. Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something. Look at the Nevada desert go past. For an SUV, this thing's a pretty smooth ride. Sure is nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building, keysing the ignition and gas in the tank. Almost like it was a present, you know? Anyways, we jumped in, and now here we are, screaming across the desert. Lotus is over there in the passenger seat. Snake and Seven and I are all squeezed into the back seat here. I still can't believe we let her drive. Woohoo! This is so fun! Oh, this is awesome. Driving is great when there's nothing around, and there's no speed limit. Hey, Clover, watch those bumps, all right? This car jumps even a little, I think I'm gonna get crushed to death.
Hey, shut it! I can't help if I'm big, all right? Suck it up!
Why don't you drive, Seven?
I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law.
He doesn't have an international license. Yeah, but you could have sat in the passenger seat. Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving up this seat. And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and Six are in should be somewhere down the road ahead of us.
Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it.
Then we have got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we? Sure thing.
Oh, shit!
Ah, God damn it, she doesn't have to drive so fast. Man, I didn't even think a car like this could go this fast. Sure throwing up a lot of dust. It was a couple hours after we run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of one of the hills, drenching a kitty in gasoline. The moment we saw what they were doing, Jimmy ran up to them, furious. Hey, what the hell are you guys doing? Then he jumped on them. He quickly scooped up the kitten and tossed it to me. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could. Help me, officer, please! You have to come with me. The policeman and I headed back to the hill. All we found was Jumpy, sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big, swelling lumps. You couldn't run away after you threw the kitty to me? I asked him. He stuck his tongue out through a hole in his mouth where a tooth had fallen out. Yeah, I guess I coulda. Then why didn't you? I didn't want to. I wanted to beat him up. Beat him up real good. Because of what they were doing to the kitty? Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind the murders of our first semester, remember? Oh, you mean the bunnies? Yeah, the bunnies. He plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it to the wind. They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. And they said they'd do the same thing to me that they did to the rabbit. I couldn't forgive him for that. So, Hey, there's still some stuff I don't get. Of course, they probably don't know any more than I do. Like Ace. Well, I guess I could ask, say, Kentaro Hongo. Why did he create the Nonary project? Anybody? Any ideas? Why don't you ask him yourself? Well, yeah, I guess I could. He's still in the trunk, I assume? Yeah, he is. Still tied up. I'm assuming with his mouth taped shut. Well, might as well have a little chat with the old man. His eyes just look empty. Oh, there's no emotion. Looks like he's given up. Wonder if he cares what happens to him anymore. Hey, were you listening to us? Yeah, go ahead and try to pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's take the tape off your mouth. Come on, I know you were. Answer me. You could at least look at me when I'm talking, man. I only wanted to see faces. Human faces. I thought if I could gain the ability to access the morphic field set, then perhaps I could see faces. By peering into people's minds, you could understand how they were processing the expressions of others. That's it? Yes, if you want to put it simply. But if you're looking for a more philosophical answer, I can supply that as well. You see, the human collective conscious... I think that's enough out of you, pal. Time for the tape goes back on. Alright, so what's your second question? You said there were things you didn't get, right? Well, somebody's a little nosy. Well, yeah, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two, though. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that? Well, see, 9 years ago, after I escaped the Gigantic, I kept going after Hongo on my own, hoping I'd catch him when he finally slipped up. During the course of my investigation, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Godane and Alice. You're not really answering my question. Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature? Oh, sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine. I'll let you talk, but you gotta behave. What? Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined that it was the member of a really cool plant type, of the family Solanaceae. I was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it. I used that extract to create Soparil. Its creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapid. Ah, shit, this is gonna go on forever. Tape's going back on, old man. The rest of my questions can wait a bit. For now, I think I'll just enjoy the ride. Here, this is for you. What is this? It's a for you doll. His name is Junpei. Jumpy pulled something out of his pocket and shoved his arm out towards me. In his hand was a doll made of yarn small enough to fit in his palm. Jumpy, are you sure it's a for you doll? Huh? Well, yeah, the lady at the shop said so. That means it's for you, right? Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll? What? Oh man! Oh man! Well, it sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what voodoo dolls are used for, right? Yeah? I guess calling it Junpei isn't a very good idea then. Why are you giving this to me anyway? It just seems really sudden. Oh, well, you know how after June you aren't going to see each other too much? I mean, we're going to be in different schools and I just thought, oh, okay, well, how about we call it June then? Oh, okay. So I wanted to give this to you. You sound like some sort of tribal chief in a bad movie. Yes, I, head of tribe. This doll, traditional charm of tribe. So I give this, it me. So we always together. Oh, Jumpy. If something bad happens, then hold and pray. I'll go wherever you are. So here, take. I reached my hand out and picked up the doll gently. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy. Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell onto June's tiny yarn body. Oh, Jumpy, I'll never forget you. I promise. Jumpy looked straight into my eyes and just said 5 words. I'll never forget you either. The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down towards the horizon. The last golden rays of sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat bathed in the warm light of evening, just the two of us, leaning gently against each other, shoulder to shoulder. The sun set and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness deepened, and one by one the lights of the town began to flicker on. Well, there's still one thing I don't get, actually. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned, and also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago, she died in the Incinerator on the Gigantic, but she's still alive now as June. But how? Was it because I tapped in the morphic field set and saved her 9 years ago? Alright, let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then how do I make sense of what Seven remembers? Snake makes sense. He's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven, he said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Oh, wait. Maybe that's not it at all. There's one other logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. No way. He couldn't have. Hey, look over there! There's somebody next to the road! Huh? What? The burning gaze in the Nevada sun pounded down on her head. The desert around her rippled with heat. Standing there on that shimmering plain was a woman, her arm out and thumb up. It would not be long before Junpei soon realized who she was. End. Whew, alright, and that, my friends, was 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, and 9 doors. I would love to thank you all for hanging out with me today playing this game. I had so much fun playing this, revisiting one of my favorites. And hopefully you enjoyed it as well. Anyway, yeah, I guess if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them down below. Or I don't know, figure it out. Oh, this was excellent. I'm so thrilled. Once again, thank you all for hanging out with me today. And yeah, I'll see you in the next series. Scotty J, signing out. Bye-bye.